Welcome back to my channel for my weekly Human Design Transit Report. We're going to start today with a very special transit that's going to be influencing us for months to come. The north and the south node of the moon, starting tomorrow, March 15th, are going to be moving into the channel 4323. Now, the 4323 goes from the ajna center into the throat. You can see it here in this image, and it's part of the knowing circuit. The reason this is significant is that energy is going to come in through that 6124 from superconsciousness. These are leading edge, breakthrough, out of the box ideas that come in, perspectives, insights, inspirations, and so on. Then they come down through the ajna and through the ajna down into the throat, where they get expressed through the throat. Now, in traditional human design, this channel is known as the channel of structuring, and in quantum design, it's the channel of innovative thinking. I've talked individually about the 43 and the 23 on earlier transit reports, but here I just want to note that the 43 is known as the genius freak gate. And it's not necessarily because of what your ideas are, it's more about how they're perceived by other people. So when you have really out of the box, innovative thinking going on, right? Some people can perceive that as really freakish. They're like, I don't know where you got that idea. I don't even know why you think it's important. And it kind of freaks me out. Whereas somebody else might be like, oh my gosh, that is total genius. That's exactly what we need right now. And so the point about this energy from the 4323 is that it needs to be recognized. It needs to be called out. You need to be very careful about when you're sharing what's coming in through these channels here, because not everybody is going to be in the right space. Not everybody's going to be receptive or open-minded or whatever it is to be hearing what it is that you're going to be wanting to share that's coming in through that particular channel. Now, if you don't have this defined in your chart at all, this is going to be a big transit for you. A big transit and a long transit, because I said it's going to start tomorrow on March 15th and it's going to go all the way through July 31st. So this is kind of what happens with the nodes, is they get into a certain place and they stay there for a long time. And we had that with the 3420 back in the fall. If you remember, that didn't end until January. And that was, I think I'm finally getting over the effect of that transit ending and no longer having manifestor generator energy. But this energy that's going to be available to all of us is super innovative, very out of the box. And I really encourage you to take some time during this transit to be writing about what it is, the insights that you might be getting. You might receive some answers to things that have been troubling you that you just couldn't think your way through, or you might be getting ideas that relate to things in your life. It could be either personal or it could be something bigger than that. This is individual energy, so it's something that you're going to be really experiencing yourself, but it can be big ideas that influence both the tribe and the collective as well. So just be open to what is going to be coming through here. I can't even tell you the number of times that I talk to people who have this defined in their charts or other aspects of the knowing circuit defined in their chart. And I'll say, what do you do with all of those insights and inspirations and downloads that you get? And a lot of times people say, well, nothing, I kind of don't know what to do with them. What you should do with them, at least initially, is to start to write them down. Because look, this is divine guidance that's coming in. Okay, it's coming from superconsciousness, the creative intelligence of the universe. And so we want to be capturing those, because here we are on planet Earth facing some really unprecedented challenges, and we need support outside of just our own thinking minds in order to be able to get us there. Yesterday on March 13th, you can see the transit that started then. The sun moved into the gate 36 and the earth moved into the gate 6. Both of these are on the emotional solar plexus, and they complete the journey around all of the gates of the emotional solar plexus that we've been on over the last few months. And these transits have really been inviting us and encouraging us and even poking at us to be practicing uplifting our emotional energy. Because the more we can uplift our emotional energy, for one thing, the happier we're going to be, but also the more effective we're going to be creating what it is that we want in the world. Because when we have that kind of high vibe, if you will, then we're able to calibrate the energy of the magnetic monopole that's in the heart center to become magnetic to what it is that we want. So that's how it works in the kind of the story of human design. But just knowing that you're in a high vibration is something that's going to enable you to be receiving ideas and insights and possibilities that are of a higher frequency. Because when you're in a lower state, when you're feeling more depressed or down, then it's harder for you to kind of access those breakthrough ideas that I was just talking about that are going to be coming in through the 4323. This is a great opportunity here during this transit. This is the last one that the sun and the earth are going to be in the emotional solar plexus for a while, for you to really be working on your emotional energy. I did a YouTube live 8 days ago where I did a peace meditation and activation. And the first part of it is using a Kriya, which comes out of Kundalini Yoga, to create inner peace. So if you're wanting to lift up your vibration, you could go and do that. The meditation is awesome also. So you could do that whole thing and you could be lifting up your vibration that way as well. I also did a Kriya for the fall equinox, which you can find right here on my channel, where I did a whole Kriya sequence, which is very, very uplifting as well. So if you're curious about how to have an energy practice that's using breath and some simple movements that can help you shift your energy and uplift your emotional energy, those are two that I have on offer for you that you can find right here on my channel. And uplifting your emotional energy is super important for these two particular gates because they have kind of strong shadow sides, both of them. Now, the sun in the gate 36 is, in traditional human design, is known as crisis, and in quantum human design is known as exploration. So it's emotional energy because it's on the emotional solar plexus. It's in the sensing circuit, so it's right-brained, it's sensual, it's embodied, and all of that. And it's part of this channel of exploration and experimentation and experience, really. And the challenge side of it is that you really kind of have to watch out for is feeling jaded by experience, like being like, I've done all kinds of things. I don't really, doing anything else. Or craving experience, craving more and more experience, and not really even being able to enjoy the experience that you're having because you're thinking about the next thing that you want to have as an experience. So this is where, like, people who do extreme sports, when it gets wonky, I'm not saying everybody doing extreme sports is wonky, but it can be when you're just kind of chasing that adrenaline, right? Or you're chasing that sense of being alive because something is really extreme. And so you want to watch out for that, either being jaded or being overly extreme in terms of the desire for experience, and instead being able to really kind of settle into enjoying the experiences that you're having and knowing what your desire for experience is and giving yourself time to get clear about what experience is going to be really fulfilling for you, right? Not just something that you're chasing and you get kind of a temporary high from endorphins, but actually an experience that you're going to engage in that's going to feel really exciting for you and it could expand you in certain ways, might help you to see the world differently or relate to other people differently or even be with yourself differently. It's those type of experiences that are going to have more of a long-lasting impact and are going to help you feel more fulfilled and not having that kind of temporary hit that you can get from things that are a bit more extreme. It's a beautiful thing to desire experience, and it's a beautiful thing to engage with experience. And definitely that sensing circuit is all about learning through experience and engaging with the world through experience. So that's a beautiful thing. You just want to watch out for that shadow aspect and how it can either get addictive or dismissive. right? Because neither one of those is really going to help you to enjoy what you can with that gate 36. And the Earth has moved into the gate 6, which is also on the emotional solar plexus. And it is in the defense circuit or the sustainability circuit. It can be a little bit of a dicey energy. In traditional human design, it's known as friction. And in quantum human design, it's known as impact. The reason that it's named impact is that all of the defense circuit is known as aura busting quality, which means that this is a penetrating kind of energy. And we're all going to be experiencing this, okay? We're all going to be transmitting it out, and we're all going to be experiencing it. So we want to be paying attention to how we might be getting energy from other people. It could be juicy and exciting if you like being close to somebody and you feel like your energies are interpenetrating with each other, okay? But it could also feel a little invasive if not. So one of the things about the gate 6 is intimacy, and its mate is the 59, which in traditional human design is sexuality. So it is a kind of sexually charged channel going from the center for life force energy, right, which is the sacral, over to the emotional solar plexus. These are both potent engines, right? They have a lot of power in them. And so there is energy moving across that channel. And so the 6 is it's known as the gate for love and war. And because it can be very intense. And the question is it the right time? Is it the right person? Is it the right situation? And if you get a no to any of those things, something that can feel juicy and exciting can become irritating and invasive fairly quickly. And so anything that's on the emotional solar plexus needs time for clarity. So you might be feeling drawn into some kind of intimacy or connection with another person. But if you do that, you want to be giving yourself some time to be clear, is this the right time? Is this the right person? Is it the right situation? Because if you just dive into it because you feel attracted, because the 59 can be quite seductive, actually, then you can end up in a situation that doesn't feel very good, and it can become friction right away. So just be mindful for yourself about what is actually going on, and make sure to be using some of your discerning properties in order to decide if this is the right situation for you and if it's the right time. So the invitation here is to ground ourselves into an awareness of right timing, into a commitment to clarity about what's right for us, and then to engage with something that might be intimate when we have that clarity, or to be giving ourselves time so that that clarity can arise. Because then we can reach out and we can be enjoying the power of that kind of penetrating energy. And where we're grounded in that and we're committed to this right timing, that's going to help us to experience our sun energy as well, because that 36 also needs timing. Rather than leaping into experiences because they seem like they're going to be exciting, to just take some time to find out, is it actually going to be creating the experience that I want to be having to the best that I can tell, at least looking at it. So both of these will do really well with right timing. And because they're both so potent, and because they are emotional, I really recommend that you do that, and that you be doing energy practices every day. Like every day I do energy practices before I get up and talk to anybody or engage with work, because I need to always be uplifting my emotional energy. So I encourage you, especially during this transit, to be doing that so that you don't find yourself on the low, disempowered aspects of these energies. Then this coming Saturday on March 19th, we're going to have a big change of energy because we're going to move over into the G center. The sun moves into the gate 25 and the earth moves into the gate 46. So the G center is very different from the emotional solar plexus, but they're also connected. Now, they're not connected directly through channels in human design, but they're connected energetically because the quality of our emotional energy calibrates the magnetic monopole that's in the G center, like I was talking about earlier. And that is what calibrates the heart center and the type type of things that we draw into our lives, which is super important for 90% of us, which are the generators, the manifesting generators, and the projectors and the reflectors too. Manifestors to some degree, but kind of in a different way. So when we're going into the G center, this G center is the center for love, lovability, identity, and direction in life. And all of the gates on the G center are love gates. So the 25 is the love of spirit or spirit, and the 46 is the love of the body or embodiment. So let's dive into the gate 25. The gate 25 is part of the channel of the shaman or the priest, and it goes from the will center into the G center. And so it kind of receives this energy from the will center that's coming through the gate of shock or the gate of initiation. And it modulates it with this love, right? This deep love and connection to spirit. And so there's kind of like this power that comes out of the will center. This is the only channel that connects the will center to the G center. And these are the two love centers, if you will, or the two heart centers. And so the willpower and the will energy and the courage that comes from the will center comes through this channel. And like I said, it comes out with a very potent energy out of the 51 that if you're not familiar with it, it can be shocking. But if you know how to utilize it, it can be a very initiating energy. And that's why it has to do with the priest or the priestess or the shaman, because it's a way of initiating us into the highest place we can in our relationship to spirit. That's why it's the love of spirit or spirit. And so for you, when we move into this transit on Saturday and through the following week, you'll do much better with both of these energies if you have been uplifting your emotional frequency, because then you'll be able to really activate that love of spirit, really know that you are connected with the all that is. You'll be able to be lifting up your frequency higher than ever before when you come into this transit. And then the Earth is moving into the gate 46, and the gate 46 is in the sensing circuit. So it is related to that 36, which is where the sun is right now. So again, the sensing circuit, right-brained, and it is embodied, right? And so this is the love of the body or embodiment, learning through experience. This is such a beautiful energy for us to be really reclaiming our relationship with our bodies. It's so significant that I made it pillar number 3 of feminine sovereignty, which is vitality, embodiment, and our relationship to the natural world, because after all, our physical bodies are our relationship to the natural world. And our relationship with our bodies is the most intimate and the most long-term one we're ever going to have. So this is an opportunity for you, if you've been spending your whole life in your head or a lot of your time in your head and you don't feel very connected to your body. I talk to a lot of people who feel this way. This is a really great time to be reconnecting with your body. And you can do that by doing something physical, right? But don't just do it. And like I see sometimes people at the gym, right? And they're there reading a book on the cycler or something. They're not paying any attention to what's going on in their body because they're just focusing on something else. So their attention is still in their head, even though their body is doing something. While there may be some kind of a fitness benefit to that, it's not going to be helping you, particularly with your love of the body. So if you do something physical, be paying attention to how it feels when you do it and enjoy it. Enjoy what happens with your body. You can also just, touch your body, massage your own hands, massage your feet, trade foot massages with a friend, get a massage yourself from somebody else, take a nice bath, and then really pay attention to what it feels like with the water on your skin and the warmth in your skin and how your body starts to relax in that. Just find some ways to make peace and really love your body. I know just too many women who are at war with their body. They judge their bodies. They don't like it. They think they have too much belly fat. They think, their butts are too big or their thighs are too big, or they don't have enough meat on their bodies and they're too skinny. whatever it is, this is a great opportunity for you to just really shift that and learn to love your body. Because like I said, it's your most intimate relationship, and how you relate to your body is going to influence everything else and every other relationship that you have. I mean, take that in for a minute, right? So when you can ground yourself in embodiment, in that love of the body, and grounding, right? Because it is our relationship to the natural world. After all, our bodies are made up of water and minerals, basically, right? And so grounding our energy in this love of the body is perfect for this week. And when you do that, you'll be able to access more that love of spirit, because our physical body is the place that our spirit gets to animate itself through, right? Our spirit gets to live through our physical bodies. It animates our physical body, and it gets to live through it. It gets to experience what the earth plane is like, what an ordinary reality is like, what it's like to be you in this particular lifetime. And so this is all really emanating from this heart center, which, like I said, is about love and lovability. So you want to be juicing up your love and lovability for yourself first, and then with others. And then also be diving into how do these relate to your identity, meaning your self-concept, your understanding of who you are and why you're here, and how you're experiencing your life, and how you're experiencing it through your physical body, how you're experiencing your life as a spirit, and who do you know yourself to be, and then how does that help guide you in your life. So the more you can bring really high frequency emotional energy, not a spiritual bypass where you just kind of go, it's all good. No, genuinely high vibe energy into the next transit around your love, you have the opportunity to up-level your experience of life very, very significantly over the next couple of weeks. Okay, that's my report for today. Many blessings, much love. Bye for now.